Hi guys, it's Kendra from Mallowhaven Homestead, and I thought I would give you guys a tour of the garden and of our property and give you a sense of what we do here. So now it's cold and raining. It's April in central Massachusetts, so we're in zone 5A or B. Where I live is kind of on the cusp of those two. Our last frost date is mid-May, and so it's really hard to not jump the gun and start planting everything, because we'll get some nice days, and then we're still getting nights into the 30s here, so anything that's frost tender we can't do yet. Anyway, when we first moved here, there were a ton of perennials. I didn't even know what perennials were. I just knew that things were popping up every year that I didn't plant. We'd be cleaning up in fall cleanup in the yard, and I would just be hacking things and cutting things down, ripping things out, not knowing what anything was. And I remember one time, my mom knows a little bit about stuff, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe you pulled that. That's so nice. I wish you had told me." But I just want to give you a sense of where I started from. So I'll show you what we did after that. Let's start with on the side of the house. So when I first started gardening, we just did 3 little garden beds along the side of the house right here. And that first year was amazing. We got some really good compost, and I had to Google everything. I didn't know how to care for soil or when to start things or anything. That really inspired me that first year. When everything turned out so well, I thought, man, what else can we do? It's literally, is that snow? It's like snow and rain and ice all at once. So I picked a good day to do this. This is typical weather. We did some soil on top of the ground in long mounds, and you can even still see where they are. Those gardens did okay, but I think the problem was that it was a lot to weed them because they were right on the ground, and I just didn't have. We were homeschooling. We had just gotten 2 of our kiddos, and I just didn't have enough time for the garden. We decided to make the raised beds. We started with a couple raised beds in the middle, and then it just kind of grew from there. And then we did some tilled beds here, and then we just kind of fenced everything in. And so right now, that's the only garden space we have. And then we also have some chickens. This is the coop and the run. Hi, girls. Hi, girls. They have a couple visitors. Well, I shouldn't say visitors. They're not visiting. They're permanent residents. But we've moved the couple chicks into the coop. Hi, this is Yeti and Phoenix. I don't know if you can see it that well from this angle. Oh, it's a little too bright. And it's nice and warm in here. Actually, I'm tempted to stay. It's so warm by this lantern. I am going to stay in here for a minute because it's so cold. Anyway, so we've had chickens for a while now, and they are amazing. We love them. They're so easy. I'm super glad we did that. Hi, girls. You're on TV. We're gonna get some rabbits. Now, I talk a big game because I love the idea of having meat rabbits, but I know that comes with the ugly truth of having meat rabbits, and so I'm a little worried about that. But we'll take it one step at a time. We're planning on putting them right next to the coop with a little yard so they can have happy rabbit life. And then we have our little compost over there. It's not really enough as far as compost goes. The more I get into this gardening stuff, the more I realize that compost is super important. Amending your soil is really important. It's so cold. Okay, I can do this. We just don't have enough compost capacity in those little compost bins that we have. we either need to buy compost from a local sourcer or get on the ball with rotating. The compost bins have to be like you have to add water and you have to spin it around, and you can't just chuck it in and then expect it to turn into compost. It does take some work. For now, we're just shipping it in from someplace, but if you find a good organic compost, it is a game changer. It makes gardening so easy. That and putting up like weed barriers, so like a plastic or mulch. Those two things have been super helpful. The side of the house. So along the side, there were, we just are cleaning this out now. There are a bunch of berry bushes, not even good berry bushes, like you get like 2 raspberries off of them. We're gonna be putting some blueberry bushes. So here's a big pine tree in the front yard, and I did some research and found out that blueberries like acidic soil, and I know that pine trees are acidic, the pine needles, so I think this is going to be a really good spot for them. We just have to trim some of the branches because it's pretty low and it blocks a bunch of the sun. This is a cute little spot. Now this used to be like a rock wall enclosed, like cute little area when we moved in. Like I said, we have abused this space. I didn't know what anything was. There were flowers everywhere, but in the fall everything looks dead. Like I just didn't know, so it's gotten really shabby looking, but there's like remnants. So there's 2 tulips growing. This is going to be all blueberries and anything that decides it can pop its way up amongst the blueberries, because I'm not going to dig out anymore. I'm just going to let it go. Okay, and then ultimately I actually was inspired by Jess over at Roots and Refuge. She's so inspiring, and I'm very much like her in the sense that she has a lot of ideas, she's said, and it gets frozen because she wants to make sure she does it like perfectly the first time. And that really resonated with me. That's how I am. For some reason, planning out a garden and all this stuff feels permanent. I just have a really hard time committing and starting. But that being said, hi honey, my husband's laughing at me. So the front yard, I would love to do like a cottage garden with like a cute little gate over there, with an arbor, with like raised rock wall beds and like pretty perennials. I know what perennials are now. I'm coming for you, perennials. I'm gonna learn. All the neighbors must think I'm nuts, okay? I live in suburbia, people. I have like 7 or 8 neighbors, and they already think I'm weird because we homeschool, and I've got chickens going everywhere. My kids run around barefoot and hang from trees, and we're kind of the oddballs a little bit. They're all great, and they've never said anything. Now I'm walking around with a camera. This is the side of the house where we were looking at before. So here's the end of the garden right here, and then our yard goes all the way to the street that way. So we were thinking of putting from the garden area over to like, I don't know, little past the pine tree right here, goats. I really would love to get goats. So I say that I want dairy goats, so I'll be out here milking every day. And I've been researching, and we're allowed to have goats here even though we live in the city. It's just that I know there's a lot of commitment with that. So, goats are awesome. I've never had goats, but they're super cute, and I have friends who have goats. But you have to decide why you're getting them, right? So are we getting them for pets or dairy, or are we selling them for, pets or whatever? I'm not sure yet, but all these things take time and money, and so we're just trying to plug away slowly. But anyway, it's exciting. This is an exciting time on our homestead. I'm excited that you guys are interested and watching. So I hope you'll continue following along to see the progress that we're making. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye.